Right guys, my name is Living Dead 69 and welcome to episode 2 of my EA UFC online series. If you watched my first video, you would have noticed that I said any video that's over 10 minutes long will have more than one fight. Well, it's only episode 2 and I've got a 3 fight special for you. So looking to continue my win from the last fight. Not particularly looking for any of these fights to go the distance. The quicker I can finish them, the better, obviously. Not sure if you caught that, but I didn't actually mean to choose Machida. But especially as I'm matched up against Jon Jones, I had a feeling that, seeing as it was a light heavyweight division, Jon Jones was going to be the opponent. So I was really cautious in this fight. Jon Jones, obviously being one of the best fighters around at the moment, he's amazing. But he's a bit OP on this game, so you've got to be really careful, especially if someone gets you in the clinch. It's like he's a bit like what Anderson Silva used to be on the old UFC game. Like, he was just an absolute beast in the clinch. But as you can see, it looks like this guy doesn't know what he's doing. All he's doing is button bashing, using up all his stamina. So I'm just going to pick him apart. I've still got to watch out. Even with low stamina, Jon Jones is a danger. So I've still got to be wary of it, but I'm going to try and keep his stamina low by going for his body and then going for his head, as you saw with the Superman punch, then going straight back to the body. No stamina and just a knockdown. That's how dangerous Jon Jones is on this game. But as you can see, the guy hasn't got a clue what he's doing on the ground. He held the transition for so long. So, like, try and see what his submission defence is like. I have to admit, I do love the way the subs work on this game. It's a lot. I think EA MMA, for anybody who had it, like, the button tapping thing was all right, but it was a little bit. I don't think it quite made the submission game enjoyable. And I can't really remember how the submissions used to work on the old UFC games. It's been that long. But yeah, it's seeing as he had me in the ground and he was in my guard, thought I'd try and catch him in a submission. Didn't quite work. So now we're back up to our feet. Got to be careful as he's still throwing those big bombs. And especially with Jon Jones' long legs, like, flying knees and head kicks are deadly. But you can see I'm nowhere near him and he's still trying to throw kicks at me. Like, just look at the stamina. Like, if anybody watching this has played UFC, you know exactly what's going to happen now. Like, there's no two ways about how this fight is going to end. Just look at him. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. I'm just kicking him about all over the place. And Machida's kicks are incredible, but especially for a karate trained fighter as well. But trying to parry the punches, I'm trying to go for the knockout, and big knee to the stomach. I don't know how he didn't see that coming, but I'll take that win any day. Nice short fight in the first round. Cheetah going all beast mode, jumping up on the cage. So yeah, happy with that fight. I mean, it's in the lower divisions, you get a lot of fights like this. I mean, some people just come into it and they think it's something like Tekken or Street Fighter, like, yeah, button bash. Like, you can't do that, man. EA try and make games as realistic as possible, and that sounds like a joke considering if you played a game. There's so many glitches in them and there's so many bugs. It's nothing like real life. Like FIFA, you can get barged off the ball and you'll go flying across the pitch. But yeah, it's a nice way to end the fight, nice and quickly. So second fight's coming up after this. Got a record of, I think it's 3-0 now. So I just got to make sure I keep that momentum going. Want to try and get out of this division as quick as possible, win the white belt, move up to the blue belt. Obviously my goal in this is to get to the top division and stay there. I personally want to be ranked one of the top fighters on the game. So I won't stop till I get somewhere near that. I think the highest ranked I've ever been on, like, a game like this is I weren't that far off the top 1,000 on Madden. But that was a while ago. That was when got bored of FIFA. I think the only decent games they had was FIFA and Madden. And not a lot of my mates at the time had an Xbox One, so I just used to sit there, play Madden. Used to watch IMAB videos, Mr. Golden Sports videos, a few other YouTube commentators as well, just to pick up a few little tips, and it worked out. But yeah, back to UFC. Next fight, GSP, one of the best pound for pound fighters ever, and I chose Nick Diaz. So should be a decent fight. You've got a submission specialist against an all-round great fighter. GSP is no mug. I mean, his record speaks for itself. There was a little bit of controversy in the BJ Penn fight, but I don't know, that's history. But yeah, on the ground, trying to transition him back into full guard, and like I'm not. To people who play this, I'm not sure if you noticed, like some of the transitions get stuck midway, so you'll be like leaning there, looking like you're going to push his leg, and then nothing happens. So as you can see, getting absolutely dominated by GSP on the ground. So looking to get him in a submission here, try and lock in the triangle choke. Got to make sure he can't get out. Like you'll notice what a lot of people do with submissions is they'll use the same 2 or 3 directions. If you can lock onto their pattern, they haven't got a chance. So if you look at this battle now, up to 80% sunk in, just got to lock in the next bit. And there we go. GSP is out cold on the mat, just all limp, just totally unconscious. And I think I didn't really land that many punches, landed a few, but it was mainly GSP on top of me, like pounding away. But I had a feeling, especially in the lower division, I had a feeling people wouldn't be that. They wouldn't have a massive grasp on the ground game when it comes to submission. So I thought I'd take advantage of that, seeing as I was getting absolutely battered on the ground. I'm quite impressed actually. Usually on the old UFC games, if you submitted people, they'd usually send you hate messages like, "Oh, submission, stand up and throw bangs, you pussy." Mate, it's UFC. If you want to do stand up, by fight night. Like that's the whole point of mixed martial arts. That's the whole point of UFC. Like there's different aspects of it that you have to be trained in. Like if you watch the early UFCs, I think it was UFC 1. A boxer gets taken down to the ground and he taps out just because he's on his back and he don't know what to do. I mean, it just shows how far the UFC comes from when it started to where it is now. But on to the third fight now. Fabricio Verdum against, obviously, Cain Velasquez. I'm Verdum. And obviously my opponent is Cain Velasquez. So just trying to make sure I stay out of the way of the big punches, because Velasquez's knockout power is staggering. Like, he's got 2 bricks on the end of his hand. I mean, if the fact he beat Brock Lesnar, and I know Brock Lesnar gets slated by a lot of people because he's WWE, blah blah blah, but you can't underestimate Brock Lesnar's ability as a wrestler and as a fighter. I mean, I think he only had, off the top of my head, I think it's 8 fights, and he held the title at one point. And if it weren't for like the conditions that he had, I think he had something wrong with his intestines or something that meant he couldn't fight, then who knows, he could have been around a lot longer. And I remember sitting with one of my mates, we were watching the fight with Frank Mir. The first one, I was laughing in my mate's face because he thought Brock Lesnar was just going to pound him to oblivion. But then he got caught in I think it was footlock? Yeah. And he tapped out. But Brock Lesnar came back for the second fight and absolutely destroyed Frank Mir. Like, I was gutted. Like, my mate absolutely threw it in my face and he tore me to shreds for ages after that, because he loves the big knockouts and I love, obviously, like the ground game with jiu-jitsu. So for Brock Lesnar just to sit on top of him and just pound his face into the ground was incredible to watch. Even though I didn't like it, it was incredible to watch. But Brock Lesnar he's an animal. There's no 2 ways about it. But obviously he keeps going and fighting. And Cain Velasquez done well. I don't think people underestimated Cain in that fight, but I don't think people expected it to go the way it did, especially given Brock Lesnar's heavy hands. Like, it don't take much. If Brock Lesnar lands something on you, especially with those thin gloves, like, you're gonna feel it. And Cain Velasquez took it to him. Fair play. He proved that he is a champion. So yeah, back to the fight. It's pretty even at the moment. Nothing amazing. I've tried to sink in a few submission attempts. Rock's in there, but he's still got the ability to parry. So just got to try and break him down. Really, he's dodging side to side, so it's kind of hard to get land a shot on him, as you saw there as I tried to go for the front kick. So just got to bide my time. Don't do anything stupid. Just try and get him to come into the line of one of my punches or a kick, or if possible a flying knee. But yeah, hopefully it goes my way. I'd like to get out of this division ASAP. One thing I would like to see them bring into this game, I'm not too sure how they do it, but on the UFC on the early UFC that were made by THQ, you could change submission. So you could go from a triangle choke, and then as they tried to escape, you could go to an arm bar, and then as they tried to escape from that, you could go to I think it's a go-go platter. And I'd love to see that brought back, because it adds another aspect to the ground game. So people think that people are like, oh yes, managed to get out of that submission, and then they realise they're being caught in another one. So I'd love to see that brought back. I mean, as I've said before, I think this game is amazing. It's got a few flaws, and I think they've got a few things to work on. But as a whole, as a first sort of game where EA and UFC are working together, I think they've done a great job. I mean, I think the stand-ups overpowered, and they haven't focused enough attention on the ground game. But I would say that, the ground game. But there we go. Just big uppercuts to Cain Velasquez, and my third win of this video. And I think that means I get promoted with the belt. I can't remember off the top of my head with how many points there were. But looking at the replay, throwing uppercuts, he's got no stamina, just caught him with the first one set him up, and the second one just finished him. And he throws a punch, tries to throw another one, and he gets caught. And he just falls. He just folds. Just look, just out of it, just gone. So yeah. That was nice. That was a nice victory. I have to admit, that was one of the ones I preferred. So it's nice when you beat a powerful stand-up person with someone who's more known for jiu-jitsu. That is a nice feeling. It's not nice when you get knocked out, but it's a nice feeling when you win. But we'll see how it goes in the future. Anyway, guys, my name's Living Dead. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, come back for episode 3. Subscribe to me and for a little bit more content. Peace.